On the broadcast tonight, the latest from former President Donald Trump's court case.
And the latest from the Minds at Work clinic that was held on campus this week.
All that and more right now on SUTV News. Good evening and welcome back to SUTV News. I'm Jay Durazio.
And I'm Haley Galaskis.
On Monday, the Franklin Science Center evacuated due to an unknown odor. Here with the reports is SUTV's Sean Osborne.
Emergency response vehicles rushed to Franklin Science Center Monday afternoon after a suspicious odor was detected burning inside. The building was evacuated as Shippensburg Fire Department rushed into the building to investigate the odor.
It was so traumatic, man. I was just talking with my professor, working on my lab, and I just hear beep, 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 beep. I'm like, what is going on?
We're actually devastated, as you can tell, because we didn't finish our lab.
I was just doing chem lab. I don't know. I'm just here.
Currently, the building is safe for classes to resume, as the odor is still unknown. This is Sean Osborne for SUTV News.
The alarms have been suspected to be caused by an electrical fire. No official word from the university has been released. A series of hit-and-runs occurred last week outside of Shippensburg University. According to Cumberland County Crime Watch, a silver Toyota hit another vehicle just outside of 300 block of East Garfield Street while trying to go around an ambulance and continue down South Queen Street before pulling into the sheets. Another hit-and-run occurred just outside King Street Diner. Shippensburg police have identified Isaac Martin as potential suspect. Police are still in search of the suspect of the hit-and-run, and anyone with any information regarding should contact the Shippensburg Police Department.
Lavender graduation is coming to the Cub NPR May 9th. The event will be hosted by the Page Center and welcomes the LGBTQ+ and ally graduation. Shippensburg University students, the ceremony is a celebration of affirmations of the Shippensburg community. Lee Blinder, co-founder of Maryland's Trans Wellness Organization, will be the keynote speaker and will be sharing professional experience. For more information, contact the Page Center or go to the offices located in Cub 232. Shippensburg held its annual Minds at Work conference Tuesday, and it did not disappoint. The event took over a majority of the Cub, with the NPR being filled with students standing proudly by their research posters. Students came from many departments and classes in terms of their study, with topics like communications, biology, education, psychology, business, chemistry are just a few on this wide list. Students also took the opportunity to take part in panels that often dealt with issues and topics that students have studied as part of their research. Minds at Work provides students a space to show the research they have conducted throughout the year, all while giving them the opportunity to share their findings with interested individuals.
SUT wants to remind our audience to use their flex before the end of the semester, including the money you get for printing at the university. Your flex does not transfer over to the next semester, so when it comes to the end of the semester, use your flex. Get yourself some Chick-fil-A, maybe a boatload of sushi from Bento, or a snack from Big Red. Which begs the question for me to you, what's your current flex situation like? You're in a good spot, bad spot? How's it looking?
You know, I'm in a pretty good spot. I've got like $80, $70 left, so I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I have about $50 left, so I can start getting a little bit more aggressive. I think a lot of Chick-fil-A milkshakes are in my near future, specifically cookies and cream.
Get yourself a milkshake.
I'm gonna get myself a milkshake, but coming up after the break, we'll have the latest on the Dubai floodings.
That and more after this.
Are you failing a class or don't know what you're doing? You're in luck. Shippensburg Primary Academic Resource Center is free to all SHIP students. The Student Success Center, also known as the Learning Center, is located on the first floor of Mallory Hall. The center provides a variety of services, including course-based tutoring, writing tutoring, and learning specialists. To schedule an in-person or Zoom appointment, visit the Student Success Center collaborative website, ship.campus.eab.com. I'm Will Nicholson with SUTV.
Are you having a hard time focusing on your work? Why not check out the Ezra Lehman Memorial Library? The library has many resources like the IT desk on the main floor. For computer assistants, see the experts. Need to print in black and white or color? Don't worry, the library offers both options on different floors. You can use the bottom floor for group work and the top floor for when you need silence. Don't forget to stop by Starbucks. Check out library.ship.edu for more information. This is a public service announcement from SUTV.
Let's go around the globe and check in with Evan Pahusky, who has this week's world news.
Columbia University's president is facing censure as pro-Palestinian protests continue on campus. The American Association of University Professors submitted a resolution to censure Minosh Shafiq and other university officials. According to student-run campus news outlets, the professors accuse Shafiq of violating the fundamental requirements of academic freedom and students' rights. The resolution states she brought armed police onto campus to deal with the unrest, ignoring opinions of faculty and students. The association isn't calling for her resignation. They just want her to recommit to the core values of the university. In a statement to the New York Times, Columbia University says Shafiq is focused on de-escalating the situation on campus. The main suspect in the 2022 Idaho murder case, Brian Kohberger, has brought new evidence in front of the court to prove his innocence. His attorney has a cell phone tower pin of Kohberger's location the night the attacks occurred. His cell phone location showed Kohberger in a spot 10 miles away from the site of the gruesome murders. Idaho law requires Kohberger to submit the time and place he was when the murders occurred in writing. However, the judge for his case has been pushing the deadline for the statement to be submitted to the jury due to the recent evidence being presented. His trial is set to continue as scheduled, and an expert on cell phone data and signals will be brought into court to analyze the evidence. Life in Dubai has come to a standstill after torrential rainfall flooded the city last Tuesday. The flooding has resulted in the United Arab Emirates' largest on record, being about a year's worth of rain in just under 24 hours. Satellites were still able to see it days after the last raindrops fell. The flood has caused a blockage of flights and street closures due to residents being trapped in traffic. Experts blame this event on climate change and anticipate with continuous heightened temperatures and increased humidity, there will continue to be a high risk of future flooding. A man has died after lighting himself on fire following protests outside of a Manhattan courthouse where former President Trump's hush money trial has been held. 37-year-old Max Azzarello succumbed to his injuries in the hospital after. As per authorities, he walked to the middle of the park, poured gasoline or some flammable material from his backpack. He then ignited the flames. Shortly after, he fell to the ground as his body became engulfed. Some believe that his motives have to do with his troubled past behavior, his introverted political beliefs, and being a conspiracy theorist as per sources. Unfortunately, news sources such as CNN watched in horror as they didn't expect to see such a thing. Azzarello was 37. Indonesia faced a natural disaster last Wednesday. Mount Ruang, a 2,024-foot volcano in north-central Indonesia, erupted several times last week amid a lightning storm, causing hundreds to be evacuated from Ruang Island. Indonesian authorities also issued a tsunami alert last Wednesday as a result of the possibility of Mount Ruang collapsing into the sea. The eruption was massive, with lava and ash spewing about 2 miles into the air with volcanic gases reaching the stratosphere, tens of thousands of feet above ground. Thankfully, there have been no reported casualties since the eruption began. That's all for World News this week. I'm Evan Pahusky. Now back to JD and Haley at the desk.
Coming up, we have your 7-day forecast.
And in entertainment, we have everything you need to know from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Here at Multicultural Student Affairs, we value every student. No matter your race or ethnicity, you are guaranteed a home here. MSA offers many resources: a place to study, a place to meditate, a place to socialize, or a safe place to communicate issues or talk with a faculty member. Come down to Gilbert Hall today and join our family. Our roots run deep. Why not grow together? This is a public service announcement from MSA.
If you're looking for a way to get involved and inform the community, student media is the place to be. With SHIP's award-winning newspaper, The Slate, Emmy-winning television station SUTV, campus radio station 88.7 WSYC, and Public Relations Society PRSSA, No matter what you're interested in, Student Media has something for you. Visit the second floor of the Cub or Roland Hall for more information. This is a public service message from SUTV.
Well, it's time for our weekly weather preview, and I feel like this past week it's been pretty good weather overall, but a little too breezy for my liking.
Yeah, the wind's giving me a new hairstyle every time I walk into a building. I'm not appreciating that too much. I like the sun.
Yeah, no, the sun's great. And you know what? I don't have the beautiful locks that you have. I'm kind of a bit more short upstairs, so we're going to see how it impacts us this week. So let's send over to Abby Hockenberry, who has this week's weather.
Thank you, JD and Haley. It's great to be back and sparkly after 2 weeks, but also only having 2 weeks left. Getting closer and closer to finals, I feel like I'm just at that point. I'm just racing towards the finish line. But you know what they say, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, more specifically, sunlight. Tonight, we are going to have clear skies, able to see the stars, but that temperature is not going to be stargazing friendly, with it only reaching the mid-50s. Tomorrow is looking pretty nice. We have some sunshine coming through and clouds in the evening. Be sure to catch a showing of Once Upon a Mattress at 7 p.m. in the Memorial Auditorium. The last show will be on Saturday. Heading into the weekend, on Saturday we can expect a 60% chance of rain that will last during the day but clear up in the evening. Sunday is going to be quite hot. It's saying goodbye to the 60s and going to reach the low 80s. So our nights are going to be warmer. This is also going to be the case for Monday. Then on Tuesday, some showers are going to come through. We have a 50% chance, and it is going to last all afternoon on and off. The temperature doesn't plan on changing, so it's going to be humid. The rest of the week, we can expect sunny skies and it feeling like an early summer, but possibly showers on Friday. I wish the weather could just stay at one temperature, preferably 70, all year round so that I don't have to wake up and wonder if I need a jacket, shorts, or umbrella, but you can't always get what you want. That is it with this week's weather. I am Abby Hockenberry. Now let's check in with Emily Hall for this week's entertainment.
Pop icon Taylor Swift released her 11th and 12th albums this week in a secret double album release. Swift announced the new album, The Tortured Poets Department, earlier this year at the Grammys, but fans were in for a surprise as soon after The Tortured Poets Department was released at midnight, only 2 hours later at 2 a.m., Swift released her second album titled The Tortured Poets Department, The Anthology. For a deeper review of this album, I took to the streets to ask what Shippensburg thinks of this album in this week's Ship Talk. Straight from the tortured SUTV department, it's Ship Talk. This week, we asked students their opinions on Taylor Swift's new double album, The Tortured Poets Department, and The Tortured Poets Department, The Anthology. Let's see what they have to say.
Way too many songs. Fortnite's the best one because Post Malone's on it, but there's a couple good ones. Just she did need to drop 2 albums in one night. You know, that's nobody really asked for that, but I mean, not gonna hate on it. So far, I haven't finished the album, and I've tried to listen to it nonstop. It's just too many songs. But so far, it's a decent album. I'd say like 7 out of 10.
I do not like the new Taylor Swift album.
She's very overrated.
Me personally, I have not listened to the new Taylor Swift album. I am not a Swiftie, as most people are. That's all I really have.
It's a great album, just like all of it. It's definitely, I feel like it's a little different than what she usually puts out, but it is so good. And I love it. It really, like, I'm an English major. It just speaks to me. I love it so much.
I love Taylor Swift, and I will always love Taylor Swift. I think people need to stop bashing on her because you don't need to like reinvent music every time you come out with an album. She has found her sound. She is a 34-year-old like woman who has grown up, and she's got this. She's awesome. Keep going, Taylor. I love you.
I thought it's a good album. Love the double album. I don't think it was really meant to be a commercial success. I think it was kind of her attempt at poetry. And I love the collaboration with Post Malone because he's from my hometown.
Well, I gotta admit, I'm guilty of sin for liking this album. I think the songs were absolute bangers. I definitely agree some were stronger than others. I have definite likes and definite dislikes. I think it was very much a power move to do the double album secret release. Like, that was crazy. Evan doesn't like Taylor Swift, and that's why he's not part of today's Ship Talk. But Taylor Swift, I think her songs and albums were just really good. But yeah, that's gonna do it for Ship Talk this week. Back to the studio. That's it for me. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame announced its 2024 class of inductees. In the performer category, the inductees are Cher, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Ozzy Osbourne, Peter Frampton, Foreigner, Kool and the Gang, and Tribe Called West. For the Musical Excellence Award, it's Dionne Warwick, Jimmy Buffett, MC5, and Norman Whitfield. To be eligible, an artist or an individual band must have released its first commercial recording at least 25 years before the nomination year. The inductees were announced Sunday during the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame episode of American Idol. The induction ceremony takes place October 19th in Cleveland, Ohio. Former YouTube vlogger Ruby Franke is adjusting to life behind bars. Well, new information regarding the abuse her children suffered is coming to light. The 42-year-old momfluencer was arrested in late August along with her business partner, Jody Hildebrandt. The pair were arrested after Franke's 12-year-old son escaped Hildebrandt's home and ran to the neighbors. In shocking new information and photos, Franke used cayenne pepper and honey mixture to treat her son's rope wounds as he sustained as an injury from being tied up by Franke. Franke's personal diary entries have also been released. Franke details the abuse methods she used on her children, whose names have been replaced as E and R. In her diary, Franke justified much of the abuse as necessary to break her children's bond with Satan. Calls from within the prison between Franke and her estranged husband Kevin detail her mindset as she makes many similar claims as in her diary. In a call, Franke asks Kevin, quote, "Are we in the news?" Franke and Hildebrandt pled guilty in February and face up to 30 years in prison, but the case investigating the abuse is still ongoing. Sydney Sweeney, an actress most known for her role in the TV show Euphoria, is being criticized by a producer. Hollywood producer Carol Baum is bashed Sweeney in one of her newest movies, Anyone But You. Baum said the movie is unwatchable and said Sweeney is not pretty and can't act. Sweeney was quick to reply to these comments, saying that she's upset that women are not backing up another in the industry. The producer said she now wishes she did not make these comments due to the backlash she is receiving. Many of Sweeney's colleagues, such as producers and coaches, have defended her on social media to help combat statements. That's all for entertainment. Till next time, I'm Emily Hall. Now back to JD and Haley at the desk.
Coming up in sports, the NBA and NHL playoffs are in full swing.
And the women's lacrosse team returns from a long road trip.
Stay tuned after these messages.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
SU softball cools down after a big weekend at Millersville. Despite the Raiders putting up 25 hits against the Marauders, they only returned home with one of the two wins. Senior Taylor Myers had 4 hits and 2 RBIs on the day, moving her to 3rd place in school history for career hits. The Raiders went on to lose both games against Westchester on the road Tuesday afternoon. Freshman Sarah Sabosic hit a 3-run double, keeping SU alive in the first of the 2 games. The Raiders will travel to Mansfield Friday before returning home for a senior day matchup against Kutztown on Saturday. The first of the two games will start at 1 p.m. Ship baseball started their weekend slow, but heated up on the road during their 4-game series against the number 9 ranked Millersville last weekend. Freshman Ty Sherman put SU on the board with an RBI single. Pitcher Jackson Delana worked efficiently on the mound, allowing only 1 run on 3 hits. Ship took the road the next day and came out with energy matching the better weather. Sophomore JT Weaver pitched a 4-hit shutout in Game 1, earning his first career complete game shutout. This also marks the first time the Marauders have been shut out at home during the regular season in 11 years. Senior Austin Ball was a pivotal piece of Game 1, launching 2 home runs, including a 3-run homer that secured SU their first win. The Raiders will continue their road campaign at Kutztown on Friday. They will return home for a senior day contest against the Golden Bears for a 1 p.m. start time. Ship Lacrosse continues their hot streak on the road this past week. The Raiders traveled to Millersville last Saturday for a conference matchup. 2 juniors Sarah Vosberg and Jamie Carvin set career highs with 6 and 4 goals respectively. Sophomore Allie Pioli led the team with 7 draw controls. The energy continued into yesterday's matchup against Shepherd University. Despite trailing for most of the game, junior Sarah Vosberg scored the tying goal with just under 5 minutes remaining. Senior Emily Fenwick was able to place the game-winning goal in the net after 3 straight Shepherd fouls. The Raiders will be back in action this Saturday to host East Stroudsburg for a senior day contest. The game will start at 1 p.m. at Robb Sports Complex. The Shipwreck is beginning to wrap up intramurals here on campus with over 939 individuals participating this year in 12 different leagues. Currently, there are 3 leagues taking place: pickleball, flag football, and kickball. While yes, these leagues are beginning to wrap up, you can still watch these games Monday through Thursday from 7 to 11 at the Student Recreation Complex across from the overflow and commuter parking lots. If you are looking for something to do while the semester comes to an end and you need a break from studying, come check out the games as the sun sets. If you are interested in participating in a league in the future, stop in at the rec center and sign up before the league kicks off again in the fall. The NBA playoffs have begun and it has been nothing but excitement from the start. Starting in the West, the top seed OKC Thunder have a commanding 2-game lead over the New Orleans Pelicans. The LA Lakers have given up multiple double-digit leads to be down to the reigning champion Denver Nuggets, capped off by a stunning game winner by Jamal Murray Monday night. Minnesota is roaring after seeing their Timberwolves go up 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns. Back in LA, the Clippers are headed to Dallas at 1 game apiece. Into the East, the championship favorite Boston Celtics drop a game at home to the Miami Heat, a team that made 23 threes in Game 2. The Knicks are shocking the 76ers game after game, heading into Philly up 2-0. In Milwaukee, the Bucks are still playing well without their star, Giannis Antetokounmpo, splitting their 2 games at home against the Indiana Pacers. And finally, the Cleveland Cavaliers are playing much better than last year's playoffs against the younger Orlando Magic, starting up 2-0. There are surely going to be many more thrillers to wrap up the first round of the NBA playoffs. The NHL playoffs started this weekend with the Islanders losing to the Hurricanes 3-1 after a 2-goal third period on Saturday, followed by the Bruins dominating the Maple Leafs in a 5-1 win. Sunday featured four games and started with the Panthers squeezing out a physical 3-2 win over the Lightning at home. The Rangers had a big 3-goal second period to take control of the series versus the Capitals, and the Jets won a 7-6 shootout versus the Avalanche after goalkeeper Connor Hellebuck saved 40 of the 46 shots on goal by Colorado. A late surge by the Canucks secured the win for every home team in their respective series. A big 3-point performance by Dakota Joshua helped Vancouver take the series lead over the Predators. Games continue all throughout the week, so be sure to keep an eye out for updates. That's all for sports this week. As always, I'm Jeremy Perna, throwing it back to JD and Haley at the desk.
After the break, we're going to be talking about the most popular American snack.
And you're not going to want to miss our full coverage of this right after this break.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
I already knew that I was gonna go to college, from a young age. I definitely want to major in political science. After that, I'm gonna get my law degree. Then I'm gonna come back to Detroit, boost the economy, become the mayor or something, try to make the situation better for other people. I feel like I owe it to the city. I'm determined. It's gonna happen. My name is Justin, and I am your dividend.
It's time to get your carbs on. Friday is National Pretzel Day. Mark the day by snacking on one of America's favorite snacks, whether they are soft, crunchy, salty, or my personal favorite, cinnamon. This food holiday was created in 2003 when Pennsylvania Governor Ed Rendell named April 26 National Pretzel Day. The state has a long history with the pretzel industry. The Pennsylvania Dutch introduced pretzels to North America in the 19th century, and it's still the epicenter of the pretzel production in the United States. In fact, the average Philadelphian consumes about 12 times as many pretzels as the national average. That's a crazy statistic. 12 times a national person. Can you believe it?
I didn't think there was a national average for pretzels, but PA's on top.
And you know what? I think I can take that on. I'm going to claim it right here on SUTV News. I can be the highest pretzel eater in Pennsylvania.
Someone get this man a pretzel.
On the end, if you want me to sponsor you guys, just hit me up anytime, any place, anywhere. But that's going to do it for tonight's edition of SUTV News. I'm G. DeRazio.
And I'm Haley Galaskis. Make sure to check out our Facebook and Instagram and to visit our website at sutvnews.org.
Thanks for watching. Good night, brothers.